What's up, my good friends, and Happy New Year! So, I am here to talk about my 2022 reading plans. Um, and I guess kind of like a TBR, a 2022 TBR. Some of these I probably won't get to in January. It's currently January 9th, but 2022 for me is going to be the year of series. I I'm not gonna say in the middle of a lot of series, but there are a few series that I've started. Some of these can be read more so as standalones. Some of them not so much. But yeah, these are the series that I would be upset if I didn't finish in 2022. So here are five. And the first one is North and South by John Jakes. This is a very old series. It's a family saga, I believe, about two men who know each other from West Point, the Army Academy here in the United States, and they are obviously fighting on opposing sides. I really don't like that this has the Confederate flag on it, but what can you do? One's a Confederate family, one is a American family, and I guess it's not so bad. It's got, you can really see the premise from here. Whether this glorifies the Confederacy, I really don't know. I hope it doesn't. I myself am a descendant of a Confederate soldier, and I hate that about my family. And I hate the Confederacy. I hate neo-Confederates. I hate neo-Nazis because of what they represent. There is nothing peaceful about white nationalism, no matter how peaceful their protests say they are. So, from America's master storyteller and writer of historical fiction comes the epic story of two families, the Hazards and the Mains, separated by vastly different ways of life, joined by the unbreakable bonds of true friendship, and torn asunder by a country at the threshold of a bloody conflict that would change their lives forever. So this is pre-Civil War, and then there's the second book, which takes place during the Civil War. It's pretty big. It's like 400,000 words. That's called Love and War, and then there's a third book called Heaven and Hell. But I've heard that's more of like a spin-off. I'm not entirely sure, and that one is quite smaller. So that's the first one. Second one, massive series, Wheel of Time. I'm on book four. I'm not going to get into the Wheel of Time TV show on here. I enjoyed the finale a little bit more than I think most people did, but I didn't expect a whole lot from it as a filmmaker and screenwriter myself. I know the obstacles they were up against, so I kind of let it slide. The Shadow Rising is book 4 of 14. Will I read New Spring? Maybe. I hear it's more about Lan, who is not my favorite character, so we'll see. So Wheel of Time is on there. This is the one, the Dinosaur Lords, which I am most excited to get to. I will probably read this one first. So let's read the synopsis. Men and women live on paradise, but dinosaurs predominate. Colossal plant eaters like Brachiosaurus, terrifying meat eaters like Allosaurus, and the most feared of all, Tyrannosaurus rex, rule the land. Seeking to centralize real power in this figurehead famed throne, Emperor Philippe of Nueva Europa sets off a chain of wars that may blaze up to consume the continent called the Tyrant's Head. But is imperial ambition only the spark, or are more sinister forces at work? And so we have our players. Fallen hero Carl, who gets lured into the chaotic task of raising an army from a province of pacifists. Part-time dinosaur master and minstrel and first-time rogue Rob Corrigan, he wants to get paid and laid, but he follows the man he's written and sung about into what looks like certain disaster. Princess Melodia, who is eager to escape the shadow of her indulgent but neglectful father, the Emperor, and Imperial champion Huame, Count of the Flowers, the Empire's most celebrated swordsman and poet, who wants to serve beauty and the right. But what can he do when faced with two equally wrong, ugly choices? I think these are feathers. We know that nowadays many dinosaurs did have feathers, and I think I saw a picture in here of a velociraptor. That's T-Rex. Where is the velociraptor? That's not a velocity. Let's see. Um, that's not a raptor, but it is a feathered dinosaur. So I think it's cool that he put feathers on his dinosaurs. And um, this just sounds right up my alley, a sort of Game of Thrones, war, political, fantasy with dinosaurs. I've been told I know more about dinosaurs than most people, but I just really like dinosaurs. I actually almost named my guinea pig Littlefoot after the dinosaur from The Land Before Time. And also, I love that you can see, I believe this author is Spanish. I don't think he's Latin American, I could be wrong, but I love Spanish influenced Hispanic Latin American literature. So I am so excited for this. And then the Dragon Bone chair. I have the second book because I really love the cover of the second book. I don't really know what this is about other than that it's classic fantasy, so I always love classic fantasy. The Century Trilogy. This is the third book. This is really the only one that I know I'm going to finish. This one's coming up. We know my thoughts on Ken Follett. He's a bad writer, but I love his work so much just because it's so bizarre. There's not another word for it. And then I will also be finishing the Kingsbridge series. And there's another series. This is the last book. This is the Unwind Dystology. I'm going to be looking to finish this. I got this because my team says we might teach Unwind, which I already finished. It was the first book I finished in the new year. It was all right. It was about a world after a second civil war that was fought over reproductive rights. So there was a pro-choice, a pro-life, and now they've decided that life is viable until the age of 13. And then between 13 and 18, parents can have their children unwound. And you can see behind me, I also have These Violent Delights. It's on my bed because I'm going to be taking it to school. That one I will read. Whether I'll read These Violent Ends kind of depends on how much I like These Violent Delights. These Violent Delights have violent ends is my favorite line from Romeo and Juliet, which I just got done teaching. So my rule kind of is that if I'm reading a series, I have to be reading, or if it's starting to take too long, if I want to read a standalone, I have to be reading a series at the same time. And the most epic series that I will try to read for the first time, not a big deal if I DNF it, if I don't like it, NBD, don't care. What is it, you ask? It's this. Yeah, I'll be reading The Lord of the Rings for the first time. And so I started reading it while I was waiting in line, and I really honestly did like the style. Now, the movies are amazing, but I did like the style because it kind of felt like the way it was written, it was just like grandpa telling a story to you, which I get that old-fashioned writing, most people don't like it, but because it's in a fantasy world, it just feels very storybook. And for me, I'm gonna like that. That's one of the reasons I like classic fantasy. I will probably do a reading vlog of that just because I've never tried to read it and it's so influential. And yeah, so those are the series I'm going to be reading in 2022. My goal this year is only 75 books because I want to read more long books. I love long books. This one really isn't that long. It's only like 350,000 words. Now, when you compare that to Outlander, which the sixth book is 506,000 words, to put that in perspective, probably the most wide-read long book is Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett, and that is 412,000 words. So the Outlander books are really, really long. Now, I love Outlander, but I'm not prioritizing it because it's unfinished. So that's why. Unless, like, I may start unfinished series, like, if there's a next book coming out soon, but I really want to finish series. That is my goal so much this year. Long books, 75 books. That's it. So keep reading, keep writing, keep loving words, and I will see you next time. Bye.